All right, I'm about to say something marketers hate because it kills the just optimize the funnel excuse and it makes a few CEOs quietly exhale in relief. Are you ready? So, if your funnel isn't working, there is a solid chance your funnel is fine. Your offer is the problem. Not your landing page or pages, not your email sequence, not your ads, not your CRM, not your content calendar, your offer. Because you can build the prettiest funnel on the planet, yes, you can, but if what you're selling is vague, overpriced, hard to understand, or not compelling enough, then all you're doing is polishing garbage. And look, I've been in the rooms where very smart people spend months doing exactly that with straight face. So today we're doing something different. We're putting the funnel down for a minute and talking about the things that actually makes money. We're going to talk offer first, funnel second. Let's do this. So this episode is for CEOs, managing directors, exec, and seasoned founders, people running real businesses, 7 figures plus. You could be 6-figure and you can join us too. You've got customers, you've got a team. You're not here for motivational posters or just be authentic crap. You're here because something feels off. Maybe lead volume is fine, but conversion is meh. Maybe sales cycles are dragging. Maybe you're discounting more than you should. That one, I know. Maybe marketing says we need more traffic. Sales says we need better leads. And you're sitting here thinking, why are these arguing? Am I the only adult in this room? So here's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about why funnels stop working and why it's usually not the funnel itself. We're going to talk about the 5 signs your offer is the real bottleneck. Then we discuss a simple way to rebuild your offer without ripping up your whole marketing strategy and the business. And what to do this week to stop wasting money on more leads. Okay, we don't have any downloads, no worksheets. Just listen like you're in a passenger seat while I drive. And I drive like a crazy person. I'm kidding. Now, before we get into the signs and the fixes, we need to name the real trap. You see, funnels feel productive. They have tasks, tools, dashboards, timelines. You can outsource them, you can present them, you can measure them. It looks like progress in a meeting. Offer work, that's uncomfortable. Offer work forces questions like, are we actually the best option for anyone? The question is our pricing justified? Do we have proof or just confidence? Are we selling what people want or what we're set up to deliver? That's why teams default to funnel. Funnels are safer than truth, trust me. And here's the important bit. When the offer is weak, the funnel becomes a scapegoat. So let me ground this in something that you probably lived through. So I'm going to give you a little example. I work businesses where marketing was generating leads, sales were busy, and pipeline looked healthy. Everyone seemed flat out. But still, when you look at the growth in revenue and profit, they were all flat as well. So the CEO says, we need more leads. Classic. But when I dug in, the real story was the first one was the offer sounded like everyone else. So the who is it for was way too broad. Sales had to explain and customize everything to the potential buyer. Pricing, so because of that, obviously, pricing was inconsistent. And ops and delivery team kept inheriting surprise expectations. So when you dig in deeper, that wasn't the funnel problem. That's an offer problem wearing a funnel costume. Now, if you're thinking, okay, Neda, but how do I know if that's us? perfect questions, my friend, because we are going to talk about the signs. And they're painfully obvious once you know what to look for. Now, I'm going to share 5 signs that you are possibly polishing garbage. Sign number 1, you need too much explaining. You see, if your sales team has to do, depending on the business, obviously, it has to do 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour explain dance to show what you do, your offer isn't clear to your audience. And yes, if you look at this and go, hang on, Neda, my business is very complex and the sales cycles are too long. Even complex businesses can still have simple offers. What I mean by simple doesn't mean basic, okay? Simple means understandable by your end user, by your client. If the customers can't repeat it back in one sentence as to how you can solve their problem, you've got confusion. And trust me, you've been in business long enough, confused people don't buy, they delay. Now, here's what usually happens when there's a confusion. That's your sign 2. Your sales process is full of yes, but. So, excuse me, if you constantly hear, yes, but can you customize it? Yes, but we need it faster. Or yes, but the price. Or yes, we need approval. You see, I know some friction is normal, and it'd be very difficult to have a sales without any friction. That's part of it. A good salesperson knows this. But if you look at it and go, if it's constant, it's usually because your offer isn't packaged to make buying feel safe and obvious. So you're not showcasing you can solve the problem. You're not removing friction, you're inviting it. And once buying feels uncertain, guess what businesses do to reduce risk? They negotiate or they go quiet, and the worst case, they go to your competitors. Which takes us to sign number 3. So if that happens, then the sign 3 is you're discounting to win deals you should win anyway. Discounting isn't always evil. Sometimes it is strategic. But if you're discounting because you can't justify the value your business provide quickly, clearly, and confidently, that's a weak offer. If you should win and you're still negotiating hard, my friend, your offer isn't strong enough to hold the line. And when the offer can hold the line, then the internal dynamics in your business get messy. Marketing points at volume, sales points at quality, and ops points at feasibility, which lead us straight into sign number 4. Marketing, sales, and ops are stuck in a blame loop, which I'm going to add the exec team or CEO to this as well. So you see, when the offer is weak, teams start protecting themselves. Marketing goes, well, we did our job, leads are up. Then sales goes, these leads suck. Ops goes, stop selling crap, we can't deliver. And CEO, yes, you, goes, who's the problem? Neither of you. But I guess we have to point a finger at someone, so it's CEO. You see, the offer is the problem. A weak offer forces internal conflict because everyone experiences it differently. Marketing can't target cleanly. Sales can quickly qualify. Delivery and service get surprise expectations. Finance team sees margin erosion, and you end up referring. So if you're constantly referring, oh my God, can't say the word, you've got structural problem. If you're constantly in between these people and you're trying to put out fires, you've got a structural problem. Now, the last sign, remember I said there was 5 signs. The last sign is sneaky because many leaders mistake it for brand. So sign number 5, which it's when Your best customers can't describe why they chose you. So if you ask your best customers, why did you pick us? And the answer is good people, or felt right, or responsive, we like the team. Don't get me wrong, they are nice, and they matter, but it's not scalable. It means that you haven't turned your value into something crisp enough to repeat. And if it can be repeated, it can be marketed constantly, sold cleanly, or priced confidently. So now we named a sign. That's wonderful, right? Now comes the turning point. What I mean by offer first. Because a lot of people hear offer and think it's just a list of their services. It's not. So I'm going to tell you what offer first actually means. When I say offer, I don't mean service menu. Your offer is who you help, what outcome you deliver, plus how you deliver it, plus what it costs and why it's worth it, plus the proof. That's the whole thing. And the reason funnels fail is because one of these pieces is weak. From my experience, it's usually the outcome, means how you can help them, and the proof. From my experience, these two are the biggest culprits. You see, most businesses, and you must have done it too, sell process and features. But customers buy outcomes. They buy solutions for their pain. No one wakes up excited to get features. They wake up wanting for the pain to go away. So here's the shift I want you to make. I want you to stop selling what we do and start selling what changes if you buy from us, if you let us help you. And the moment you do that, your funnel starts working much better. Not because you changed the funnel, but because the market can finally self-select, which is that's what we're going to build next. The offer that does the filtering for you. So I'm going to share very, very simple, the offer fix framework. So there is the 4-part offer test that we start, and here's what I use with the executive team. There's 4 questions. It's very simple. This 4 question is, number 1, who is this for? Number 2, what problems are we solving? Number 3, what's the promise? Number 4, why believe us? So if you're listening to this 4 question, and if any of these are fuzzy, your funnel will feel like pushing a boulder uphill. Trust me, done that, and I know how hard it is. Let's walk through each one. I'm going to start with the one that most businesses avoid, and that is, who is this for? So your ideal client. You've heard that before. So who is this for? And please stop being for everyone. If your answer, for example, who's it for? Growing businesses or anyone who wants to scale, you're already in trouble. You don't need a smaller market. No, I'm not talking about smaller market. You need a clearer buyer. Pick the buyer with the highest willingness to pay, the clearest pain, and the shortest path to decision. Not the buyer who is nice, the buyer who is ready, have the pain. And once you know who it is for, you can stop being polite about the problem you solve, that ugly truth. So number 2 was, what problem are we solving for you, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? This is where people get really vague. So it could be, we help businesses optimize performance. I want you to stop and say the ugly truth. So this is what I do. We fix the chaos between sales, ops, and delivery that is killing margin and burning team out. See, this is a real problem. The connection between sales, ops, and delivery actually will kill margin. And that's a real problem. If you can't say it bluntly, you can't market it clearly. So now, once we know who is at for, once we know the pain is clear, you need to optimize. You need a promise that makes buying feel safe. So what's the promise? Make it concrete, my friend. A promise doesn't have to be guaranteed. It really doesn't. It doesn't have to be, I guarantee this. You don't have to be. It just needs to be clear. So the bad promise is, if I was my business, the bad promise will be improve your operations. That's the bad promise. It's very broad. But the better promise is that I can give to the businesses is within 60 days, you have a clear scorecard, clean hands off, and a weekly operating rhythm that drives decisions. That's something someone can buy. Now, then we land the plane with a question every smart buyer is asking. And if they don't say it out loud, and sometimes they don't, why should I believe you? So, why should I believe us? That's the proof beats persuasions, right? You know, especially salespeople listening to this, you know proof helps. So if your proof is we've been around for years, oh my God, that's a bad proof. You're leaving money on the table. That means nothing to the customers. So proof can be, and it doesn't have to be before and after, the proof can be the results, even directional. It could be specific stories if you have for this client. Named experiences, for example, industry, scale, or complexity, before and after snapshots. It could be, the proof can be a clear milestones and risk control you have to help the client. You don't need hype, you need credibility. So, and clear milestone, my friend, and risk control, it's perfect as well. Because buyers aren't stupid. You see, they're very cautious. And we just want to make sure that we prove why believe us. All right. Now, you got the framework. We went through the 4 questions. So, but I want to zoom out for a second and talk about what to do this week without starting a 6 months rebrand and restructure journey. Because the fastest win are about stopping the behaviors that are which are masking the real problem. So, I'm going to give you 2 short lists to what to do this week. It's stop, start. Okay, let's keep this clean. I like simple things. I don't like fancy stuff. I like simple. Now, stop doing this. Stop driving more traffic to the vague offer. If it's not working, stop it. Stop adding more funnel steps to warm people up. Hey, marketers, are you listening? Stop writing longer copy to compensate for unclear value that you're providing for the client. I want you to stop letting sales customize every deal to get it over the line. And I want you to stop discounting to make uncertainty easier to swallow. Again, there's nothing wrong with discounting, but if you're doing it too much, there's something wrong. Now, we've done the stop list. Now I want you to look at the start list. This week, I want you to start rewriting your offer in 1 sentence of who is it for, the outcome, and the proof angle. I want to package it into 1 to 3 clear option, not list all of the 12 services you have. I want you to start make pricing make sense. Ranges are fine. And I want you to add proof into the offer, not as an afterthought. This is where self-select comes in. And I want you to use marketing to qualify, not just attract. Marketing, my friend, is your best friend. Your marketing team is your best friend. Is the agency you work with. Hope they're good ones. They're best friend and they are your engine. If you make them your friend, they will attract a right audience for you. And that's the difference between momentum and a marketing theater. Now, I want to finish with CEO move, the decision that stops you wasting time and money, because it's very important. It is a business, profit or non-for-profit. You are there to make money. So the CEO move. here's the CEO level line in the sand. So if you're sitting in the senior level and you going through this theater, draw a line in the sand. If your offer isn't converting, you do not get to buy more leads. We got to stop. You fix the offer first. Work backward, because scaling a weak offer doesn't scale revenue. Doesn't scale your profit. It scales waste. So if you've been thinking, we just need more traffic, I want you to challenge that. I want you to ask instead, is our buyer clear? Is our promise sharp enough? Is the value obvious without a 15 minutes explanation? I say 15 minutes, different business and complexities are different. But 15 minutes for the sales is long enough to qualify someone. Is proof built in to what we're actually offering or in the marketing for? And are we winning our confidence or discount? And if those aren't rock solid, the funnel isn't the issue, the offer is. And once the offer is strong, funnels become simple again, which is the whole point. My friend, you don't need more complexity. Trust me, funnels should not be complex. The marketing strategy should not be complex. You need more clarity. Now, all right, a quick recap before we wrap it up. Funnels amplify offer. They don't rescue them. So look into your offer. If you're explaining too much, discounting too often, or trapped in inter-department blame, your offer is likely the bottleneck. A strong offer is who plus the problem plus the promise plus the proof. And this week, I want you to stop feeding traffic into the vagueness. Tighten the offer first. Work on your offer first. All right. Thanks for hopping on the soapbox with me today. Always great to have your company up here. If anything I said resonated or made you go, interesting, do me a favor, subscribe, and share this with someone who enjoyed the little no BS business truth. Want to keep the conversation going? Or maybe you think I deserve a little friendly pushback? Either way, please connect. You can find me on LinkedIn. Search Neda Farzad, and that's Neda Farzad, or Instagram and Facebook under Neda Farzad Official. Wishing you an amazing week ahead. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, especially to yourself. Bye for now.